Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
Change will come to those who have no fear. But I am not her, you never were the kind who kept a rule book near.
Welcome to the Not Watching Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and this week I'm joined by
Iain Bruce and John Marson.
You can contact us on email at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. TV news?
Let's.
Shall we?
Okay. True Detective Season 2 teaser went up. Very short teaser, only about a minute, but what do you guys think? Have you guys got a look at this?
It looks
really
cool.
good.
I mean, it's got Vince Vaughn in it, so it's obviously not going to be perfect, but... But no, it's...
Statham would have made a great job there. He would have done a great job as a Vince Vaughn.
He'll be in season 3.
I thought,
Hope so.
I thought Colin Farrell looked really good in it. Like he looked like he meant business, and he was all kind of like a tortured soul, and he had his knuckle duster, and yeah, it looked cool.
Rachel McAdams looked good.
Yeah, she does.
Looking forward to it. Yeah. Do we know when it's released in the Americas so we can go over and watch the first episode?
It comes out in June.
Holy shit! Right, okay.
June 21st.
Really? Oh, that's not far away at all. God, I'm never going to leave the house with all
it's-
this stuff going on. New Game of Thrones, new True Detective.
I think the 21st of June is the season finale for Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
And so they'll be showing that
Doing
after.
tag each other in.
I think. Yeah, well, that's kind of how you do, isn't it? You hook them on to the next thing. True Detective Season 2. I think the first 2 episodes are being directed by Fast and the Furious man, Justin Lin.
Oh, okay.
Same writer, obviously. That's kind of what this all hangs upon, it being an anthology series. So it's all totally different setup, new location, new characters. I think Colin Farrell's playing a bit of a washed-up cop who's in debt to the mob. Vince Vaughn is playing a mob guy. Rachel McAdams playing another cop and kicking ass by the look of it in that trailer.
Yeah.
So definitely well up for some more True Detective. And I'm glad we're getting it this year because I'd heard absolutely nothing about it, and it's been like, because I think the first season was definitely on like earlier on in the year last year.
Justin Lin also directed some Community episodes.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Which ones? Do you know?
Modern Warfare, Interpretive Dance, and Introduction to Statistics, if memory serves.
Interpretive dance.
I do.
Yeah.
I do remember the Modern Warfare one. I think that's quite a notable episode of Community. Cool. One director who won't be doing something is David Lynch. Apparently, a lot of the new Twin Peaks reboot that Showtime are doing, has already been written. Him and Mark Frost have written it all, but they were still doing the negotiations with David Lynch, and he said that after 1 year and 4 months of negotiations, I've left because not enough money was offered to do the script the way I felt it needed to be done.
Really?
And he started to call actors to let them know that he won't be directing it. In response to this, some of the actors put together a little YouTube video thing saying how pointless this is going to be now that he's not involved.
But we're tied in contractually, so we're going to try and scupper this project by making little YouTube videos.
Maybe, yeah. I think some people were saying that David Lynch actually only directed like the first few episodes of season 1, and that it could still work, but I don't know. It sort of feels like a bit of a dead weight around this project now. Like, it's just sort of taken the shine off, really. I mean, I was never a big Twin Peaks fan anyway, but I know a lot of people were quite upset by this. But one thing that might be good is the X-Files coming back. We mentioned a few weeks back that there may be some new X-Files. I I think you were pretty insistent, John, that if Mulder and Scully came back, they wouldn't be the main people in it. But looks like they are.
It's only going to be like, isn't it 10 episodes or 8 episodes? It's only a short run, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be like 6.
Right.
So
yeah, 6 episode event
that's
series.
nuts that they're going to, because I mean the original rumours were that they'd be in it, but kind of like as a handover to the new guys kind of thing. But that it's going to be so it's going to be Mulder and Scully then. That's who it's
for basically what could be 2 or 3 X-Files movies.
And by God, they've been good, haven't they?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe over the course of 6 episodes. Yeah, you kind of think if you're going to do a TV series,
didn't the X-Files work
more,
because of the extreme slow burn between them and all of the crazy? It worked in the same way that the first few seasons of Fringe worked, in that it was just all a bit weird. And there was a bit of a thing going on between the lead characters.
I mean, I think what you've got to remember about the X-Files and any shows from that era is the main reason why they worked was because they were slightly better than the other dross that was on TV at the time.
Yeah. Damning with faint praise.
Hold on, wasn't Beauty and the Beast with Linda Hamilton on at the same time? What are you saying, John?
There was some
written by George R.R. Martin.
There was some like okay stuff on TV, but there was a clear difference between what you were watching on TV every week and the odd film that you go and see at the cinema. Like watching a film was a fucking event, and it would sometimes blow you away. Whereas TV was like, oh yeah, I quite enjoy that, so I'll watch it because I haven't got anything else to do.
Yeah.
Do you think that the original X-Files stepped towards the movies more?
I'd say that it was. If you were to rewatch it now, which I tried to do fairly recently, it's not how I remember it. It's okay, but it's not all that interesting.
Do you think it started Do you think it opened the doors, or was one of the ones that opened the doors for the stuff that we've got now?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I think most of what we've got now is because of shows like The Wire and Breaking Bad, and more recent shows that have really taken us into this sort of golden age of TV that we're in now.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the reason we've got so much good TV is that a lot of people that would be making films and can't get films made are going to TV instead.
Yeah.
But it's because people
that's a big part.
But
of
also,
it too.
like some of these guys that are now doing TV, they've seen that other creative directors and writers have been able to produce something on that's worth watching via the TV medium. So the other people have paved the way for it, rather than I can't make a film, I'll try and make a shitty TV show instead. It's been the playing field has changed massively between TV and film over the last few years.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see whatever they come up with, like whether it can kind of how it will sit amongst everything else that we have now. Obviously, if they're setting it now, there's going to be a whole world of internet and smartphones and nonsense that they're going to have to navigate. And I'm still interested to see what they come up with. I mean, 24, that was maybe a similar situation in that at the time that came out, there wasn't really anything quite like it. And it came out and it was all right.
And then it stopped, and then they had a recent series where it wasn't very good, was it? Did anybody watch the last 24 series?
Yeah, I did. Although I'd say with 24, I'd say that's probably one of the ones that ushered in this next generation of good TV. Like the first series, I watched that quite late on, quite a way after everybody else watched it, and it was still really fucking good. It died. It petered off sort of a few series in
the second season.
Yeah, really. I mean, I still quite like the second season. I think it's like season 3 or 4 before I started losing interest. But the first season was great. I mean, that bit at the beginning where the villain lady blows up the plane and jumps out, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like you're not watching normal TV.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now, sort of stuff. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot for a show to have that kind of impact these days, but some do manage it, as we'll be
But
discussing
then
later.
I was going to say, like, the X-Files did have that impact back in the day, and if they're going to do it again, they're going to have to try and create something that now has a similar impact compared to what all the other shit that's out there right now. It's going to be tough for them to do it.
Maybe that's why they're only going to do 6, and it will just be just for the fanboys.
Yeah, maybe.
And they won't look at trying to I think it would be a mistake if they tried to reinvent themselves, or if they rebooted it. That would be the worst thing.
Well, unless they've got a gigantic budget, yeah.
But if they had a gigantic budget, it would be 5 minutes of acting and then ropey CG for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, maybe, I suppose.
I think that would be terrible.
Isn't there like loads of sort of plot and stuff that they could bring up and reference? I mean, do they want to do that? It's been so long ago now, because there was something about, I'm sure there was something about his sister getting abducted by aliens or something.
Yeah.
Was that a thing?
I think the only way 6 episodes could work is if it's one single story all the way through. So instead of the kind of, they became quite procedural at some points, where the Monster of the Week stuff.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a case of
Supernatural did it as well, where for a long time it was just Monster of the Week, and then other stuff started happening. But they can't do. I think they have to do 6 episodes, which is one story.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You can't. I mean, part of the whole reason you have that Case of the Week stuff is for people tuning in on like episode 11.
Yes.
If you're doing 6, it's like you just want to do one story and serialize
it. That's what people
absolutely
expect now as well, I think. Like,
yeah, I would have thought so.
So it could work. Depends what it is, I guess.
Yeah. More old shit we're getting again. Arrested Development. They recently rebooted that on Netflix to reasonable success but critical derision. But they've ordered another 17 episodes of that, or they're making another 17. I don't know if Netflix have bought it yet, because I think it's being done by whoever does it.
some production company.
Yeah. Fox. No, not Fox. I don't know. But anyway, they're doing 17 more episodes apparently. The last episode, last season rather, was criticised because they knew that they were going out on Netflix. They had quite a sort of interesting structure in that basically the whole thing took place in the same sort of 48-hour timeline, and you saw it from various points of view each episode. So I don't think they're going to try that again, because it was a little bit
of a stretch.
They didn't need to do that. Yeah. The other thing that I think hurt it a little was that because it's not subject to the constraints of network TV, i.e. every episode must only be 21 minutes long, the episodes felt a little bit baggy, which is something I could arguably say about another comedy show that recently went to an online platform. But we'll get to that. But yeah, you end up with just sort of like maybe jokes that sort of should have been cut a bit earlier, and maybe some just bits that should have just been cut that didn't need to be there, basically. But I don't know. I don't make this shit. So yeah, Constantine has been officially cancelled now.
Yes.
It didn't get reordered, like, because it didn't get like the back 9 or whatever that they normally get. And I think they stopped actually airing it before the end of its run. But there was a rumor going around that they were going to move it over to Sci-Fi, but that's not happening, and they've just cancelled it. So yeah, you whooped there. You're glad. Everyone happy with that?
I didn't think it was very good.
No.
I preferred the Keanu Reeves movie. That's how bad I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I barely remember that now.
It's actually quite watchable, just not if you're a fan of Constantine.
Rein expectations in. Yeah. Orange is the New Black has been renewed for season 4, even though season 3 hasn't started yet. So they're definitely playing the long game with that show. I recently caught up on season 2 and loved it, so can't wait for season 3 to start. And finally, we get to the news that I think is probably the most controversial, is the the Preacher casting. This was all announced a few weeks back. I don't know. Have they actually confirmed who's playing Jesse yet? Because there was a rumor it was going to be Dominic Cooper.
I haven't heard anything, but in what
the big news was Joseph Gilgan's playing Cassidy.
Yeah.
Joseph Gilgan, you might know from such shows as the he was in This Is England, the movie, and the 2 subsequent TV series, playing a bit of a lad, but he was also what is he in? What was that? What the actual pictures from? Well, I don't know. He's kind of a madcap guy. I reckon he's quite well cast for this. Don't you think?
Yeah, he's a mental, and Cassidy's like a mental. So yeah, it works. I'm quite pleased with that. Out of the 3 main characters that we know about, I'm pleased with this one in particular.
Yeah, Ruth Negga as Tulip. I'm really not sure about that.
No, I mean she's a beautiful girl, and obviously Tulip's meant to be a beautiful girl. But Ruth Negga just seems like the kind of girl that maybe I'd like to take out for a nice glass of wine in a nice wine bar. Not the sort of girl that I'd like to go on a fucking kill crazy rampage across the United States with.
What kind of girl would you like to do that with?
Someone who's a little bit more edgy, perhaps.
Okay, gotcha. Fair enough.
Well, apparently Garth Ennis originally had Cameron Diaz in mind for.
It looks wise, I guess, but
she's too old.
Yeah.
Now.
Plus, I think she'd be too soft for the actual role as well. Although the character might have been based on her, but I think that was more like the way she looked rather than. She's a fucking badass in that.
Yeah, I think you'd want someone like maybe her out of Dragon Tattoo, maybe. I don't know. Someone.
Please try and pronounce her name.
Noomi Rapace.
Okay.
Is that right?
That's how I would have pronounced it. Yeah.
I don't know who I'd cast for it. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head, but
yeah, I don't know, like even someone like Emma Stone, maybe, if she wasn't so famous now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone with a bit of a harder edge. But they've also got Ian Coletti playing Arseface, but I don't really think that matters, does it? Because who the hell
he can't even speak.
He's not exactly going to be.
You can't see his face and he can't speak. It's like, can you do body language? Right, you're in.
Are you familiar with the character of Arseface, Ian?
No, I'm not. No. Are you suggesting I should be?
Would it be a spoiler to explain where Arseface comes from, or?
No, it's in like the first.
It is, but if
novel.
we talked about stuff that was in the Game of Thrones books, then you see what I mean.
True.
We're definitely not going to do that, are we?
But you know what I mean. Like I don't think we can do
that.
that. I don't think we can say who Arseface is or where he fits into the story without it being a spoiler.
Okay.
Well, in the news story, it tells you.
Oh, does it?
I've
who
not
he
read
is.
the news story, so.
Okay. All right. Well, we won't go into it, but he's called Arseface, and he can't speak very well. So there we go. That's all that we shall say. Another brilliant bit of casting. This is legendary casting. This is probably the best casting
this
there
makes
will
me
ever
very
be,
happy if it's the story you're gonna that I think it is.
Yes.
Bruce Campbell will play Ronald Reagan in Fargo season 2. Just the fact that as I read this headline, I was like, Bruce Campbell, Fargo, then Bruce Campbell, and then Ronald Reagan,
amazing.
All in the same sentence. That is just amazing, amazing, amazing.
I mean, I pretty much watch everything that Bruce Campbell's in, and to see that he's in something this high profile is, it's a good day.
Yeah, it's a good time to be watching TV. So, sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying, it is.
It is indeed. So, he joins Patrick Wilson and Ted Danson. I'm not sure who else. Who else have we got? Michael Hogan.
Yeah.
That rings a bell. Oh, and Nick Offerman as a local lawyer, Nick Offerman, who you may have also be familiar with as Ron Swanson in Parks and Recreation.
Oh, he's me.
The legend. Yeah, he's you and Adam combined, yeah. He actually said in the episode of Parks I watched this morning, he actually said, I'm more of a whiskey man myself. I can't wait. I'll literally watch anything with that going. Great stuff. Anyway, yeah, all right. Oh, and so if you're in Ireland, Vikings are looking for some extras for fourth season they're looking for 8,000 people to get beaten the shit out of in massive battles. So yeah, I haven't watched any of season 3 yet. Have you?
I've started it off. So far so good. More the same really, but yeah, I'm only about 2 episodes deep. I'm going to finish it off, but haven't got around to it yet. There's been so much other stuff going on. But yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah. Oh well. So yeah, if you want to be a Viking, then go to Ireland. And finally, Jeremy Clarkson did indeed get sacked from the BBC. They're not renewing his contract, so he can still be on stuff. I believe he's going to be on an episode of Have I Got News for You soon.
He's not doing that.
Is he not doing that now? Why not?
Wow, this is weeks ago, this news. Jesus.
I know.
Just because he's not going to do it. He'll do it whenever he wants to do it, and if he's not going to do that for a variety of reasons that does anybody really give a shit about? I don't think so.
Fair enough. But there's a rumor that he might be getting picked up by Netflix to do some stuff over there.
There are many rumors. Russia want him to do a TV show over there as well. So there's a gazillion rumors.
Russia want him to do a TV
I'm sure
show.
he won't be hard up or out of work.
He's going to defect to Russian TV.
The three of them are doing a Top Gear spin-off tour around the UK show thing soon, so it's not like he's going to be out of work.
I also noticed on Netflix they were pimping Top Gear quite heavily, probably just because it's been in the news.
Clickbait, yeah.
Quite possibly. Just like on their carousel, on their homepage, it had Top Gear there, and it wasn't there before, but then I guess it's just because it's been...
And people will be watching it, I guess, looking for episodes where he says stuff out of order, so all of them. But
they're no better than Dave. This has been the Not Watching Podcast in partnership with notlistening.co.uk. You can get me on Twitter at Bobby Rocker, BOBIROKA. You can contact us on email at notwatchingpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at notwatchingpod. You can find the show notes for this show at notlistening.co.uk. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, then please do give us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for listening. See ya.
Fairly well.